ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We are reading from Canto 4, Chapter 29, Talks between Narada and King Prachinavarhi. So, what all this thing we covered, Prabhuji? 80, 81?
Yes, sorry, 80, 81, 82.
80, 81, 82. Thank you. I am a bit sick due to throat infection. So, some break in last 1 week almost. I could not join for 2 days. So, we come to text 80. Maitreya Uvacha. Oh, wow, Maitreya Uvacha. So, back in time, we are with Vidura Maitreya Samvad. That amazing conversation. This is Vidura and Maitreya Samvad. So, and this spans entire third and fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. If we remember that Vidura is, kicked out of the palace by Duryodhan. And when he's kicked out of the palace by Duryodhan, such a breach in his life, suddenly job is gone, all investments are gone, everything is finished. But he has taken shelter of the Supreme Lord. And instead of concluding otherwise, what he has done is he has gone for Tirtha Yatra and meeting such great personality as Uddhava, and then we see he's meeting now Maitreya Muni. So what happens to us is one thing, but what is our response to what happens to us is what we should learn from Vidura. So this is Maitreya Uvacha. भागवत मुख्यो भगवान नारदो हंसयोगरितं प्रदर्श प्रदर्श हि अमन्त्र्य सिद्धलोकं ततो गतः गमः. Translation.
Prabhuji, reading we have already done yesterday, translation and purport.
Yeah, only read translation. I will go through
Yes,
some.
yes, Prabhuji. Okay.
The great
Yeah, go
sage
ahead.
Maitreya continued. The supreme devotee, the great Saint Narada, thus explained to King Prachinabarhi the constitutional position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the living entity. After giving an invitation to the king, Narada Muni left to return to Siddhaloka.
So, Narad Muni gave a very detailed, here explanation of the story of King Puranjan. And Narada Muni, he left to Siddhaloka. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, Siddhaloka and Brahmaloka, they are both within the same planetary system, the upper planetary system. And in fact, Siddhaloka is considered one of the satellite of Brahmaloka. Okay. So just like Sun has the satellite, Earth has satellite as the moon, Siddhaloka is satellite of Brahmaloka. And after giving instructions to King Prachinabarhi, Narada Muni departed and also invited him to Siddhaloka. So where he invited him, give up this place and come to our destination. And that is invitation to Siddhaloka. Text 81. Prachinabarhi Rajarshi Priyasargabhirakshane Adishya Putran Agamat Tapase Kapilashramam. Translation.
Translation. In the presence of his ministers, the saintly king Prachinabarhi left orders for his sons to protect the citizens. He then left home and went off to undergo austerities in a holy place known as Kapilashram.
Yeah. So now it was up to Prachinabarhi whether to hear all this and think around it, think about it. But now it was a direct intervention by Narada Muni. So Praja Sarge, Prabhupada points out here, he did not wait for his sons to come back. We know that his sons have gone to do tapasya, and there they had a good fortune of meeting Lord Shiva. And this is customary because a king has to hand over the kingdom to the next qualified king. Okay, आजकल भी there is so much of a discussion. Who will be after Modi? Will it be Amit Shah or Yogi Ji or So there is always a curiosity. So the kingdom cannot be left kingless, and especially so in the previous times. And the consequences of that we have already seen, Vena and everything else. But here, the matter was taken so seriously by King Prajinabarhi that he had a meeting with the ministers and he wrote direct Rajapatra orders for his sons to how to manage the kingdom. And he simply left without waiting for his return, for his sons to come back to protect the mass of the city. Srila Prabhupada quotes Veer Raghav Acharya here. Protection means organizing the citizens into the specific divisions of Varnas and Ashram. So, what is the protection? Real protection means engaging people as per Varna and Ashram. Right? This is very important thing. Varnashram is very scientific. It has nothing to do with caste system. It is created by the Supreme Lord. It is claimed by the Supreme Lord. It is not that Lord some mistakenly created Varnashram and now he is shy taking credit of creating Varnashram. No, he says Chaturvaranyam maya srishtam gunat karma vibhagasha. Right. So protection means, what is protection? Protection means situation in Varnashram. So that's what I mean. Protecting our children means what? We have to understand their psychophysical nature and we have to engage them in proper engagement. Right? Then the mind is properly engaged, the body is properly engaged, the life is properly engaged. And the same thing with the counselees, devotees. Protection means, the appropriate engagement. So this is the meaning of protection. What is protection? What is love and affection? Love and affection is this. So His Grace Radhesham Prabhu is very clear on this from day one. He is a very big talent hunter. Talent hunter means he will precisely identify the talent within that devotee, train him accordingly, and very selflessly empower that devotee. So this is the real care protection. Of course, real care protection also means you cajole a person, you say baba, beta, beta, and all those things. That is there, no doubt about it. That is the emotional aspect of care. But the real care is one has to engage in the service of the Lord properly. We have to take care of people. As His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and there are so many, the sannyasis in ISKCON, they focus on this part. ISKCON has marriage bureau, ISKCON has counseling system, ISKCON has, so many things. We have to ensure that devotee congregation is very nicely established. They are nicely protected from all sides and very nicely engaged in the service of the Lord. So this is the real protection. To rule the mass of the citizen in a state and keep them in the complete progressive order is not possible simply by enacting laws every year in a legislative assembly. Right. Srila Prabhupada writes, more and more you will see there will be lawlessness across the world if the situation goes towards godlessness. So the lawlessness will come in picture, and if no lawlessness, and then uselessness will come in the picture. People will not understand the duties of their life. Neither people want to take. Nowadays, there is a trend, people simply like South Korea, where atheism is like, the major religion is atheism. Then you can see China, Singapore, and many other places. What happens is, when there is atheism, then naturally there is no progression of varnashram. People simply, people want to marry but don't want to have children. Who will take care of all this burden? And automatically, what will happen? Such a civilization, the cost of living also will go very high, and then you will get some finance reason. So it will lead to lawlessness or hopelessness, and therefore civilization should be centered around the supreme law. And civilization also means our own house, right? And that's the meaning of the word ashrama. Ashrama means where the Lord is in the center, and this is how we have to conduct. Otherwise, the life will simply become, the lawless or a useless or a hopeless life without Shrama eva hi kevalam. Bhagavatam has, Bhagavatam will describe this beautifully. It is simply a useless labor. Shrama eva hi kevalam. Further, Srila Prabhupada explains, it is significant that when Maharaj Prachina Barhi was convinced of the goal of life by the instructions of Narada, he did not even wait for a moment to see his son's return. He left immediately. This is very significant thing. Bhai, jab jago tab sabera. Right? So, when we realize importance of something, especially we have already advanced in our age, already so much of life has already slipped through our hands. What we are waiting for? This opportunity of human form of life is very, very rare opportunity, and we have to take it seriously. I mean, sometimes we come across people, they say that Prabhuji, ISKCON ko hum 40 saal se chalte. Have you taken advantage of ISKCON? Have you started chanting your rounds? Have you increased your rounds? Have you changed your lifestyle accordingly? Have you taken initiation from a spiritual master? Right? This is important things. And of course, we have great appreciation that whatever progress, and devotees are also very modest, and but at the same time, the instruction from Prachina Barhi is when you have such favorable things happening right in Kali Yuga, right? Just 400 years ago, and the same place, it was just infested with so many Yavanas, and even to come on the street with Mridanga, you have been sentenced to death. Now things are so favorable everywhere across, or most of the places, then one has to take full advantage. And therefore, it is very significant that Prachina Barhi, he did not wait. The wait is like one killer. We know that story of a man going to ocean to take bath. He was in the towels and he just went there way early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, and he was waiting and he waited and waited and kept on waiting till 9 o'clock. His friend got up at 8:30 and came to the ocean. And then he took his bath, coming back, and he said, "Arey, why are you waiting for?" And this man said, "Oh, I'm waiting. I have come here at 5 o'clock, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting that one day, sometime, the tides will stop, and then I will take my bath, and then I will come back." Very sweetly he was saying. So we don't have to wait for material situations to become all right. There is nothing called as all right in material life. This problem or that problem, everybody is struggling. Such a great personality, such a rich personality like Mukesh Ambani is struggling with, his son's health. He has such a huge hospital, but there is a struggle on his part. To the Jhopadpatti wala, he is also struggling. And in between, all of us, 1 BHK, 2 BHK, 3 BHK, everybody is struggling. So we should not, here Prachina Barhi instructs that we should not simply wait. We have to take this seriously. Of course, in this reading session, we always say progressively, step by step, gradually. These are the lifestyle changes one should make. But the spiritual changes, one should have some progressive plan. One should have aspiration. Yes, Prabhuji. मेरे भी नाम के आगे कभी तो दास दासी लिखना है मुझे, right? One should have some aspiration like this. So this is being exemplified by by Prachina Barhi. Further, Srila Prabhupada explains, Sridhar Swami informs us that Kapilashram Now, this is the commentary of Sridhar Swami. Is located is nothing but Ganga Sagar near Kolkata, and this is near the Ganga and Bay of Bengal. Millions of people go there on Makar Sankranti and take bath. So this is Kapilashram. So except the name of Puranjan, everything is real in this. Okay, that not that entire literature is allegorical. Everything is real. Text 82. तत्रैकेकाग्रमनाधीरो गोविन्द चरणाम्बुजं विमुक्तसङ्गो अनुभजन् भक्त्या तत् साम्यत्वामगात्. Translation.
Having undergone austerities and penances at Kapilashrama, King Prachinabhari attained full liberation from all material designations. He constantly engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord and attained a spiritual position qualitatively equal to that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah. So now, when he was corrected, Prachinabhari took everything very, very seriously. This is the recurring theme in Bhagavatam. Later we'll see Ajamil. When he was corrected, Ajamil took everything very seriously. Straight left to Haridwar. Next 12 years, he realized, I have seen Yamadut, means my lifespan was over. I have seen Yamadut, Vishnudut, Samvad. Who will see Yamadut? Only at the time of death. Now the life is an extra life, bonus life. Let me go to Haridwar. He left to Haridwar instantly, singing some very beautiful, glories of the Supreme Lord. And then fully into austerities and penances. Similarly, here we see Prachinabhari at Kapilashram, and then attained the spiritual position, that is, he attained the complete mukti, mukti rihitvanyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthitihi. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that samyatmama agata, the king attained the position possessing the same status as the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada says this surely means that Supreme Lord has a status, right? And that status is personality Purushottama Yoga. He's not some light blinking somewhere. No. He's Purushottama Yoga. He's the Supreme Lord. He's a personality. And there is no question of his body is Satchidananda Vigraha. The spiritual body will never mix with the material elements. Right? Although in the conditioned life, the living entity may think so, that the body is mixed with the matter. But still, there is a complete distinction. One can see the gross body and one can see the subtle body. One can see the gross body and one can understand the subtle body. And the moment we start engaging in spiritual life, our gross and subtle bodies start becoming spiritualized, yukta vairagya. Right. So, as soon as the living entity engages in the transcendental living service, Srila Prabhupada quotes, Daivihesha Gunamai, he immediately attains freedom from all material conditions. Sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Sagunan samatityaitan. He at once transcends the three modes of material nature. And so Srila Prabhupada once described that he said that you actually are all on liberated platform by the virtue of you being Krishna conscious devotees. Only thing is you have to realize it and value it. So that's what Srila Prabhupada's, one day Srila Prabhupada was describing to his disciples. And do not come back to the lower platform. And Prabhupada wrote one very strong purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita that day. So the living entity is, and then Srila Prabhupada explains how there is a Jiva Tattva, and he will be Brahma Bhuta platform, he will be uplifted to. Final line here. One who is struggling against Maya is a hero. What a statement. Right. And one who is sober enough to understand his position is a Dhira. Without becoming sober or heroic, one cannot attain this spiritual salvation. So one has to become hero. What is the hero? Hero means, we have seen some heroes, right? So hero means one who is struggling against Maya. There is struggle for everyone. And we have to struggle and become a hero or heroine. And then dhira means one has to understand his position with reference to the Supreme Lord, go through the life, ups and downs of the life. Why Maharani Kunti is called as the success potency of the Lord? Extreme roller coaster in the life of the Pandavas, and still she is greatest of the devotee, one of them, right? So real dhira means one goes through life, one goes through the ups and downs of the life and still remains a very wonderful flower-hearted devotee. Not that he has some resentment in the heart, isko dekh lunga, usko dekh lunga, or no. Ridvak vapurvir vidadan namaste. Jivetayo muktipade sadayavak. So this is Ritvak Vapurbhir Vidadhan Namaste, offering obeisances through body, mind, soul, heart. Is very, very grateful for whatever is happening through life. Right? Life is, recently I read very beautiful statement. I'll get it sometime. It says, but basically it says, um, it will be harder, it will take more time, it will be harder, it will take more time, and it will cost you severe endeavor, even though you know it is harder, it is going to take more time, and it is going to cost you a lot of endeavor. So, whenever we undertake something, we know it's hard. But when you really start going through it, even you expected it hard, it will be harder. Right? So, and therefore, one who tolerates this comes out victorious is called as Dhira. Victory is not the success, victory is going through the process and then letting Krishna's plan happen for us. That is the success. Right. Recently, I had a very strong realization that, that something happened. I'll not go into the details. But, and then I realized if I become angry at the situation, I will fall in the karmaful activity, samsara chakram. But if we simply tolerate the situation, try to find, instead of blaming the person, that glorious Suniti, she is giving that glorious Upadesh to Maharaj Dhruva. Both are crying. Dhruva is trembling, crying, has come to Suniti, his mother. She is also crying. She is helplessly crying. She knows that, she is like not a favorite queen, and whatever Suruchi says, the Uttanapad is completely controlled by Suruchi. But what was the first Upadesh? Mam amangalatata, my dear child, do not think bad of anyone. And that Upadesh instantly transformed the entire situation from karmafal to the plan of the Supreme Lord. Right? This is very important. When we go through life, we have to realize that if we blame, Suniti, one day I want to give one session workshop and want to have this drama, that what would have happened? Suniti became very angry, and she has gone to the palace. By then Uttanapad has left, there is only Uttam and Suruchi is there, and she just start fighting with Suriti, and Surichi both are fighting. You have seen the ladies fighting, right? Sometimes you may see the reel like that. एक दूसरे के बाल खींच रहे हैं. Uttam and Dhruva, they are fighting. Uttam defeats Dhruva. This happens, and then Uttanpad is coming, running. All assemblies bewildered. What's happening? And and that may be some cheap third class Bollywood movie. It may become. But when the happening happens in our life, right? How we respond. All we have in our life is how we respond. And that response can conquer the Supreme Lord. So that is called as a hero, and that is called as Dhira. What is happening in our life, we have no control over it. Barabar hai na? But what is my response to what is happening in my life? We have full control over it. To the degree we are in the mode of Sattvagun, and to the degree we take shelter of chanting of the holy names, uh, you know, studying Srimad Bhagavatam, and when we are associating Srimad Bhagavatam and the holy names and the association of devotees, taking darshan of the beautiful deities and this Pancha Mahasadhan, what happens is our response will increase. So, how to understand we are advancing in Krishna consciousness? One big way to understand is my response changed? Before becoming devotee, after becoming devotee, last year's response and this year's response. Has my response changed in my life? Otherwise, we are simply victim of the karma phala bandhan. Right. Text 83. एतदाध्यात्मप्रारोख्यं गीतं देवर्षि देवर्ष्यनघ यः श्रावयेत् शृणुयात् स सलिङ्गेन विमुच्यते. Translation.
My dear Vidura, one who hears this narration concerning the understanding of the living entity's spiritual existence as described by the great sage Narada, or who relates it to others, will be liberated from the bodily conception of life. Purport. This material creation is the spirit soul's dream. Actually, all existence in the material world is a dream of Mahavishnu, as the Brahma Samhita describes. Yah karanava jale bhajati sma yoga nidram ananta jagadand saromakupa. This material world is created by the dreaming of Mahavishnu. The real factual platform is the spiritual world. But when the spirit soul wants to imitate the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is put into this dreamland of material creation. After being in contact with the material modes of nature, the living entity develops the subtle and gross bodies. When the living entity is fortunate enough to associate with Sri Narada Mahamuni or his servants, he is liberated from this dreamland of material creation and the bodily conception of life.
Yeah. So now text 83 through 85, that is the Falashruti. That anyone who hears this narration, oh, we are all hearing from Srila Prabhupada, or one who relates to it others, right, will be will be liberated from the bodily concept of life. So slowly and surely, progressively, we will come out of the bodily concept of life. We will understand the reality and will start acting as per the reality. So this is the beautiful Falashruti of this narration. It has to liberate from the bodily concept of life because it is a story of King Puranjan. What can be more graphic than this story, where there is, the entire description of Puranjan, Panchapran, snake, the intelligence which is compared to the queen, and then there are the senses, the commanders, the constant attack on the city, Chandavega, then Kalakanya, Jara, Prajvara. I mean, look at that. Look at the characters in the drama that Narad Muni unfolds. बराबर है. Narad Muni, what is Puranjan? This is Narad Muni's Dhurandhar. Narad Muni is writing, Narad Muni is scripting a movie for all of us, right? And that is Puranjan. Naam is also very similar, Puranjan, Dhurandhar. And this is Narad Muni's drama, the cinema script. And the first thing is it will make us realize that yes, this we are through a journey. It is not first destination. It is not the final thing. We are through a journey, and thus it will liberate from the bodily concept of life. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that the material existence is the spirit soul's dream. Right. Actually, we are all dreaming, and actually, we are the part of the dream of Mahavishnu. We are always part of somebody's dream, or we may be part of our own dream. You know that. A lot of motivational people will say, if you don't work on your dream, you are just working on somebody else's dream. But everybody is working under the Lord Mahavishnu's dream. Right. So there is no denial of that. Yah karanarnava jale bhajati sma yoga nidramananta jagadanda saromakupa. That Mahavishnu is lying on the Jagadand on the kala, this Ananta Shish, and yasyaika nishvasita kalamathavalambya jivanti loma vilaja. When he inhales, when he exhales, all the universes are created. And slightly more than half of his second, 8 by 15th of his second, when he inhales, all universes are taken inside. And in that universe, the whole thing happens. What? Srishti, Vilaya, Sthiti, Jagadandanatha. Brahmas are born, Brahmas grow, expands, universes happen, Brahma's day happens, yugas keep on happening. One of that is, he lives for such 100 years, Brahmaji. And then, 100 years there are one day there are 1,000 cycles of Divya Yuga. One of the cycle is Kali Yuga, and we are sitting in that cycle. That is our dream. Right? One day, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he approached Prabhupada And Prabhupada gave very graphic description, because that time Tamal Krishna Maharaj was, in his 20s, and a personality taking lead everywhere, and some other god brothers were not very happy with his style of management, and they had complained. And then Prabhupada gave this entire analogy. And in one apartment there sits Tamal. There is a very beautiful description of Prabhupada and Tamal Krishna Maharaj pastime. So it is all, we are under the dream of Mahavishnu. Previously, we have seen that how there is a daydream, night dream. Previously, we have also seen how there is one forgets the gross body and the subtle body. But here, the material world is created by dreaming of Mahavishnu. But the real factual platform is the spiritual world. So only the Nama and the soul, they are the spiritual. Of course, Bhagavad Gita is spiritual, Upadesh is spiritual. But one has to realize this. And therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Nama bina kichu nahim koara, chauda bhuvana machi. And when we become really fortunate and come across Narad Muni, right? Brahmanda Brahmite kon bhagyavan jeev. And or we come across the disciplic succession of Narad Muni. Coming across ISKCON is no less than coming across Narad Muni. No less than that. We are directly meeting Narad Muni through the purports of Srila Prabhupada. Day in, day out, we are with Narad Muni. We met Narad Muni in Dhruva's story. We met Narad Muni in Puranjan's story. We are going to meet Narad Muni in Prahlad's story. Narad Muni is going to come in the 10th canto, 11th canto, 12th canto. Everywhere Narad Muni is going to come. So when we follow ISKCON, through Srila Prabhupada's purport, we are going to meet all these great personalities. And then one has to take this very, very seriously. And this is how the Falashruti begins. So we will conclude here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare
Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have a small question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, two things. One is, sorry, I didn't attend yesterday, but today you were reading a translation that Prachinabari was invited to Siddhaloka.
Yeah.
Why would Narada invite him to Siddhaloka? Why can't like Vaikunta or some other place where?
Very simple. I mean, see, you are preaching to the boys and you tell them that, yeah, give up your hostel life and come to voice, right? So, or, come to the base, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So it is like that, or we said, come to the program. Come to the program is like Siddhaloka only.
Okay. Okay.
Simple it is. I mean, he invited him for a higher destination.
Okay. Present, whatever it is, like Karma Kanda process.
Yes.
So the
Yeah.
Bhakti process, to start Bhakti process is inviting to Bhakti Siddhaloka.
And Vaikuntha Loka.
And Vaikuntha, of course. Okay. So in Siddhaloka also, like we have, though it's material, part of material world, we still have devotees kind of
Oh, very great
association.
personalities sit there. Very great personalities. All this,
Okay.
Vashishta, Vishwamitra, Saptarshi, Bhrigu, all these personalities reside in Siddhaloka.
Okay.
So Janalok, Tapalok, Maharlok, Siddhalok, Brahmalok, all great personalities, they are residing there.
In the Siddhaloka.
Right.
Okay.
So he invited him for spiritual. Inviting Siddhaloka means now become devotee, take whole thing seriously, come to the association.
Okay.
So see that, come to my ashram. So that is Siddhaloka.
So
Right?
second question,
Yeah.
thank you, bro. You were saying about psychophysical nature in the beginning of the class. We should understand the psychophysical nature and engage him or her, them accordingly.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
so how do we understand psychophysical nature? Like sometimes we do have we see some symptoms. Okay, this person or this Mataji or Prabhuji or maybe my kids like this one, that one, something like that. But is our understanding is correct or not? How do we check our observation is kind of proper?
I mean, see, when we remain with a long time with a personality, especially with children, for the parents, or especially when you are, and with general observation also, we can very easily make out. you can very easily make out that the one child is interested in sport, another child is interested in study, and some other child is interested in some dance, right?
Yes.
And at least previously, what happened is there was only one career path, and that was that study very hard, get some either become engineer or a doctor or a lawyer or chartered accountant, and then you make your career. That was the previous life, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then we were just. But now what is happening is there are so many career paths. I mean, people are very strongly predicting that in next 10 years life, all this graduation business may just go to the ditch. If you hear Sridhar Vembu, Elon Musk, and all these personalities, in fact, TCS, Zoho, they have started recruiting without a degree. They said that nahi chahiye degree aapka. All your sine cos theta and all that you have learned in vector and the projectile and all those things we don't need in. I mean, frankly, I mean, I have done my PhD in mathematical modeling. Hardly 4 or 5 times I must have used sine cos tan theta. Okay, so uh, the modern education, especially 10th, 12th, and everything else, has largely drifted from what is the actual skill set required in the life. Okay, some finer students may require sine, cos, tan, theta, and double integration, triple integration. And all the while I'm saying this, one has to also realize that STEM is the place, STEM in science, technology, engineering, and medicine or management, is the place where the wholesale careers are still made. So it is not that we
Yes.
have to abruptly take any decision. But the point is, progressively, education and career has nothing to do with each other. Progressively, right? And it will I mean, currently we are just sitting at a tipping point. Now, as the years will go by, months will go by, the contrast will be very, very stark contrast. That person who is just like 10th standard passed, worked on some skill and established his business and became very successful. Other fellow is simply studying and he did his BTech, MTech, PhD, postdoc, and nothing to. I mean, I don't want to minimize anything because I have done all these things. So that's why it's a pot shot on myself. Okay. So, and one may be still struggling. So life is, so it is not that, so we have to realize, first parents have to realize this, that we are in the changed paradigms of the life. Things have changed, right? And then we have to understand psychophysical nature also. What person is something is suitable for. Like in counseling group also you can see that somebody has tremendous interest in book distribution. In our group we have His Grace Paramgati Prabhu. My God, you have to, even if you lock him in a godown and you tell him that you have to take a rest now thoda sa, he will somehow climb on the some top window of the godown, jump out from that and go out and do book distribution and come back. This is his interest in book distribution. So what we have to do, we have to simply facilitate those devotees who are doing that, right? So we have to
Okay.
identify interest and we have to facilitate and we have to guide in such a way that one role doesn't overpower the other roles in life. That I'm just taking some random name. Okay, there are like many wonderful devotees like that. So you just tell a
Okay.
devotee and we can tell his interest, and because observing for a long period, we can say that. And we have to just ensure that we guide him in such a way that he remains prolonged enthusiastic for a prolonged period, lifetime. Not that the early enthusiasm burns him out, burns him away, or burns him away means becomes fried out person kind of a thing. So this comes by observation and being with people, and that's why previously the children used to send to Gurukul. The girl used to be trained by mother in the house, and at places even the girls went to the girls' Gurukul. And the Guru and Guru Patni, they observed the child for 12 full years. And just imagine you observe a person for 12 years. You literally know how he will breathe the next breath. Right? So this is
Yes.
basically understanding psychophysical nature. And then one should not have, Prabhuji, by the way, our class is way back over. I mean, please drop because I am sick. I have time. Okay. I will conclude in anyway 2 minutes. But this is very, very optional part of the discussion. So one should not relate to one's, the one's status in life. You know that. Nahi. Like I'll give example of Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar's father, Ramesh Tendulkar, he was a very great, I mean, at least he was a reasonably great Marathi poet, writer, and साहित्यिक बोलते हैं मराठी में उसको, right? And Sachin Tendulkar, he was very, very poor in studies, poor at studies. He failed in 8th standard, failed in 10th standard, and but 2 o'clock in the morning, he will get up. He will go to hit the ground at morning 2 o'clock, morning 2 to literally night 9 o'clock. He will keep on batting till the time blood is coming from his hands, and literally he's unable to hold the bat. He will be batting. Now he understood the psychophysical nature. He did not say, "Arey, you are son of a साहित्यिक, माझे धडे मराठीच्या पुस्तकात आहेत." Okay, right. This is Marathi. Sorry for, So
No
my
problem.
own writings is in your textbook, and you are my son, and ये क्या अनपढ़ गवार हो तुम? No, पढ़ाई करो. पढ़ाई में लगा देते तो Sachin Tendulkar would have become at best some clerk in some best or some Bombay Municipal Corporation. But he understood psychophysical nature of the child. He said, "Beta, you are a cricketer, play cricket." Again, see, here is not point that we are saying that बच्चों को स्कूल से निकालो और बोलो बेटा तुम play this, play that. That is not the point. Okay,
Understand.
that is not the point. It is not to minimize anything. STEM, again, science, technology, engineering, management, and medicine, they still remain the wholesale career, the avenues, even today, even in the age of AI. Okay, but the point is, they have to realize that that I cannot mold my child to my status. They have to come. We have to, and that is maturity. Not that I am devotee, बेटा तुमको devotee बनना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो devotee समाज में मेरी नाक कट जाएगी. This is extremely immaturity. And we take pride in मेरा बच्चा chanting this round and that rounds. No, as a parents we have to come out of all this. We have to give them free space. Of course, we have to insist, beta, you have got the human form of life, and you have got a birth in the house of a devotee that indicates that you are a devotee in the previous life. Padho Puranjan ka story. Narad Muni clearly says, Narad Muni has nothing to cheat you. Neither I have nothing to cheat you. You have such great, by your own karma, by your own destiny, right? Destiny. You have got such, such amazing facility. Don't destroy it. It's by your virtue, you got life like this. By your virtue, you got parents like this. And you explain to the child like this and leave it to his own, her own Satsad Vivek Buddhi that one day they will come to realize. Or maybe next life they will need some another parents, another devotees, or maybe another Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, whatever that lifestyle. So this is how we have to realize. So our status. So this will happen with the purity of intent. When we are very pure in our intent that I have to do good for others, then this naturally this thought process will happen. But if we have an egoistic intent, log kya kahenge? That that I am to such a big devotee. Of course, I'm not talking about myself. Okay, I'm just randomly paraphrasing. And if my children don't become devotee, then what? No, this is not a purity of intent. Purity of intent means we have to really do the best for the other personalities, right?
Yes.
So when we understand this, we can very easily understand the psychophysical nature of a personality. Then we do, I mean, some people is suffocating under your group. You tell, beta, better you join some other group. You are more suited from this group to that group. Not that he is my person and he has to be under me and his fundraising is my score and his book distribution is my score. No, every year we have this counselor shuffling in Pune, and we tell our counselors that, Jai Ho, the path till now was great. Thank you for being with us. You are free to choose any other counselor. Happily, and will happily recommend. So initially it was a bit tough on me. We used to think that, dinko itna, time deke we have trained them, but now we realize that it is recently we had Her Grace Rajeshwari Mataji, Sridhar Krishna Prabhu's wife, good wife, and she very selflessly served the group for so many days, and then because of the health, because of the many other things, she said that please, you as a group or you individually, please choose somebody else. because I could guide you till now here, but further guidance looks difficult for me based on my own engagements, and such a perfect maturity it is. Right. So this will happen only when we have all good intent. So good intention is extremely important. And then basic observation. So बच्चों के साथ, even your employees, even your even your counselees, those who are depending on you in any way, you can very clearly see. And we can very clearly see also that you are such senior personality now. You should be becoming yourself counselor. Okay. Go, move on, have a group, start guiding people. Like that it is. So this will happen when we have purity of intent. Right?
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you, everyone. Parana is only till 8:02. So thank you for that great message. So we have
Thank you,
to.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Are you coming to Hyderabad on 15th August?
No, Prabhuji. Hyderabad plan is slightly delayed. So I will be there in Hyderabad.
The reason for asking is like on this 15th August there is Golden Jubilee. So what was the intention behind asking that? So
Acha. We'll
so
plan.
this temple which is in Abbas in Hyderabad, त्याची प्राण प्रतिष्ठा करताना श्रीला प्रभू स्वतः होते तेव्हा आणि गोल्डन जुबली आहे. So that was the reason.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. Nice. Wonderful. I'll see through it, Prabhuji. Last 4-5 days, I'm reasonably sick category.
Oh, okay. Take care.
That is one big reason. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.